Welcome back to the mid-inning show. Paras, as always, being that perfect Guruji that we have on the show. Paul the Octopus with another brilliant prediction. Venkatesh Iyer was the man to watch out for in Paras's opinion, and he scored a brilliant 67. Paras, just what we spoke before the show. Venkatesh scoring 60 odd runs and
Yeah.
them being getting to a modest total. Do you think your
Yeah.
prediction's going right so far?
Well, absolutely. Venkatesh Iyer looked apart. The way he struck the ball was beautiful to watch, and we saw basically what we expected off of him is how he's delivered. Bludgeoned the ball
Absolutely.
straight down the ground, a six over covers. A couple of pull shots. A couple of deft touches towards point and short fine leg and third man. Beautiful, beautiful batting.
Absolutely. And for a very relatively a newcomer, it doesn't look like he's a newcomer when he's out there. He plays like he owns the pitch, and the way
Yeah.
the charisma and the attitude with which he walks, it looks that he's sure of what he's doing. The shots that he
Yeah.
played, Paras, you named a couple, the cover drive that he played over covers for a six, then the pull shot and the deft touch,
Yeah.
behind backward point. That was not only that was the impressive part, but also the fact that he was running really quick between the wickets. So,
Yeah.
Paras, how important is the rotation of strike in T20 cricket according to you?
It's very important. Sometimes there are certain bowlers that you're not comfortable against. The best way to tackle them is by watching them bowling from the non-strikers end. So
Right.
not saying that Venkatesh Iyer was a little unsure about a particular bowler, but he really rotated the singles well. And a
Yeah.
lot of batsmen for Kolkata are busy players. Talking about a Tripathi or a Morgan or even a Dinesh Karthik.
Yeah.
You never you kind of notice them, but by the time you just see the scorecard, they're somewhere in between 25 and 35, right?
Yes,
So they're very,
exactly.
very busy players. Yeah.
Exactly. A good point you made about Rahul Tripathi out there. Okay, we've not given him a lot of credit that he deserves. But I heard a stat by the commentators out there while watching the game that he has had the best strike rate in the
Hmm.
middle overs throughout the IPL. Him
Yeah.
and Ruturaj Gaikwad. And ironically, both of them are Maharashtra Ranji Trophy players. So a great time to be a Maharashtra cricket lover. But more importantly, now talking about Owen Morgan's form, Paras, what do you have to say
Yeah.
about him getting out cheaply yet again? Okay, and his role in the team is very pivotal for the team to reach to a very modest, decent total of 170, 180 runs. And today he just got out pretty cheaply for 2 runs.
Yes, he tried something really out of the box. He was standing right outside the off stump. If that's a
Yeah,
if that's a trigger movement, it's very, very different from whatever we've seen. And he got trapped plumb in front of the leg
he did.
stump. If he would have just stood still, and, he would have
Stood still.
basically just stood still. He would have basically just negotiated with that ball towards mid wicket, and got a single or trying to hit
Exactly.
it towards square leg.
Exactly.
He's trying a little too much, but the way or the class that he possesses is termed permanent, and a lot is expected off of him. But yet again, we see him failing today.
Sadly. But not so sad for another left-hander in the team. That was Nitish Rana, the Delhi lad,
Yeah.
who has just caressed the ball everywhere possible. That six that he hit off Nathan Ellis, that back of the hand slow one, he read it so well. And I was like, I think he had this telecommunication between the two of them, and he just got his intuition that it's gonna be a slower delivery, and he whacked him right over the stands. But Paras, if you look at the bowling department as well, decent
Yeah.
performances from the Punjab bowlers. They restricted right at the death like how
Yeah.
the commentators and the experts were talking about. But
Hmm.
according to you, Paras, who impressed you the most in the whole innings? You can see here, you've got a Ravi Bishnoi who bowled 4 overs, 2 for 22. Arshdeep
Yeah.
amongst the wickets again. So who impressed you the most in these five bowlers who bowled today?
For me, Arshdeep was the pick of the bowlers today. It's bowling with a new ball, getting Gill out early. That was a
What a ball!
brilliant ball that he bowled, and coming back in the latter stage and also delivering very well. He basically foxed Rana out as well. That knuckle ball that got caught at deep mid wicket was a very good strategy. It was basically a slow bumper sort of a ball. He
Yes,
kind
yes.
of dragged it and he got out. So he's in excellent wicket taking form, and kudos to him and the other bowlers who supported him as well.
Absolutely, Paras. Now moving on to the second innings, like you
Yeah,
spoke of Rahul Tripathi, this IPL has just been about Rahul's the last two. From a Tewatia or a Tripathi, and now you've got KL Rahul. So
yeah,
now talking about the Punjab batting, KL Rahul, the man, the brilliant player that Punjab has in him. What do you have to
yeah.
say about him? How important is his role been throughout the IPL? And as a captain, how much pressure does he feel? Restricting his innings to a certain extent and not being the KL Rahul that we can think of if he wasn't
Hmm.
captain.
This basically happens when you have a weaker middle order,
Yeah,
and a lot of shuffling has happened for Punjab. We've discussed that before, but KL Rahul is basically a class act. He scored majestic runs in England. He's in top form. This is
absolutely.
whatever's happened in the recent past is not going to bother him much, and I wouldn't be shocked to see if he scores a blistering 80 today.
Yeah,
Though
you think that?
yeah, I mean this pitch really suits his batting style, and there's dew that's kicked in now. A lot of fielders sliding at the end while fielding were just checking their palms and trying to dry them off.
Yes, they
So
are.
this is the perfect time for Punjab to bat. And one thing is for sure, KKR are going to bring their spinners way early in this innings, so the ball is drier and it gets a bit of nip and bite
Just
off
want
the
to use
surface.
them early on. That's what you're trying to
Yes,
say.
yes,
Now, speaking of KL and Mayank, they're like the Jay and Viru of Sholay, but in IPL as well. So they have had
yeah,
a brilliant partnership together. I think Salil in a couple of shows prior to this gave us a stat that they have got around 750 runs among them in the IPL. And the
yeah,
second best opening partnership is Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma's, which is around 400 runs. So that's like
yeah,
a
yeah,
huge advantage that they have in them. But
yeah,
they'll be missing Chris Gayle today. Paras, we have
yeah,
to talk about Chris Gayle. He's the best T20 player there ever was. So, what do you have
yeah.
to say about his absence today? Do you think Punjab will really suffer if KL or Mayank fail to go big?
This sort of a wicket will definitely would have suited a Chris Gayle. But
Yeah,
given he's done with his cricket, he's played for so long. He's in the final stages of his cricketing career,
yeah,
and this decision that he's taken, he wouldn't have taken if he was on the younger side, or upcoming player, or a regular international player playing all three formats. But now that he's
absolutely.
done, it's fine. If someone's loss is someone's gain.
Someone's game.
Other cricketers sitting outside will be kind of happy that Gale's gone, that I might get a chance. So you got to see the positive side, and if someone's really not comfortable with the restrictions, they're most welcome to leave.
Definitely, that's absolutely correct. But as a team, you feel that Punjab might be missing someone of his stature.
Oh
But
yes,
moving on to the lower order here, middle lower order of the Punjab Kings, you've got youngsters in abundance when you talk about a Punjab Kings. But
yeah.
what do you have to say about this batting lineup where they've got a Deepak Hooda who can hit it big, and they've got the Shah Rukh Khan, not the actor, but the cricketer? Yes,
Shah Rukh Khan was a regular feature in the first part of this IPL, the first edition, and he also had a couple of brilliant 30s and 40s. And there's a lot of talk about him. A hard-hitting batsman, someone who clears the ropes with ease. This pitch is definitely going to suit Punjab's batting style, and even a Huda. He basically is a 360 sort of a player, though he's predominantly trying to hit towards mid-wicket and straight and
right.
covers. Yeah, so this pitch, when the ball's going to skate on, the dew's going to kick in, and the ball's batting's going to get easier with time. So henceforth, it's +1 for Punjab tonight.
Safe to say it could be a +1 to Punjab. And the stage could not be better for Shah Rukh Khan to play against KKR. Give him the own taste of the medicine. But moving on to the bowling department for a moment, just in short, if you have to tell me which is that one player in this bowling lineup, you can see the five names out there. Which
Hmm.
one is which one do you think is going to be the game changer for KKR if there was any today?
I'll pick up Chakravarti straightforward.
You
The
think?
way
You
he's
think?
been bowling, it's impossible to pick him while watching television, except for the
Yeah,
back of the hand googly.
yeah.
Look at those eyes right there.
My God.
That's scary. So,
Yeah,
the way, he kind of the way he sets up players is very, very kind of predictable nowadays. Three balls going out and one ball coming in. That the ball that
absolutely.
comes in is the one that picks up the wicket. So,
Yeah,
playing the ball, playing for the ball that's going to come in is where you save your wicket. But mind you, there are going to be 8 overs bowled by two mystery spinners. So that's
yes.
always an added advantage. Henceforth, it's going to be very, very a very good battle to see. The ball's getting on, the batsman wanting to go towards trying to hit the ball out of the park, and the spinners trying to weave a web. It's going
So
to be a
Paras,
good
you
contest.
you straight away just told us that Varun Chakravarti is going to be the man to watch out for,
Yeah.
and KL Rahul is going to score an 80 odd run, and Punjab is going to win. But I just
Yeah.
want to know your prediction once again, just so that the fans who just joined in can see and can know what is your prediction finally for today's game. Are you going to stick with
I'll
Punjab?
yes, I'll back off Punjab today. They seem to have an upper hand.
They seem to have an upper hand. They bowled really well. The momentum is towards them from the last couple of overs. So live action coming up. Paras, thank you for joining with me. I'll see you in the post-match show. Hopefully a KL Rahul win and Shah Rukh Khan, beating Shah Rukh Khan's side. Let's have a look at the live action. Thank you, everyone. This